Hey guys, it's Dual Personality here.
Today we're bringing you a review of the brand new Banlist, and what a list it is.
It's kind of not even really important. I mean, better late than never though, right?
Yeah. So first off, we have a slew of things from Draco Pals. Damage Jungler and Plush Fire were both pretty good,
They
and
were the
it's
whole thing.
yeah, it's pretty reasonable to have them forbidden. Total Minus was on the emergency list. Nothing new to really mention.
Personally,
but-
myself, I don't think Patyrmus really needed to be on there. I mean, people can argue with me all they want, but he was playable in every deck pretty much, so everyone had access to him. He wasn't just Draco Pals.
Yeah, I could see him at 1. I mean, he's not like... I think 1's kind of reasonable, but... I don't know, I never really used this card.
I did for a while.
It's a good card, it's just kind of... It feels like... It feels kind of like how Infinity did for a while, when everyone would just find some way to play it.
Right.
Because there was like this myth that it was like the best card in the game, but...
Well, that's made Infinity, but then there's also other cards you gotta made besides Infinity.
Yeah, exactly. So, Chicken Game is now forbidden. That's pretty crazy.
Not really. It's part of OTK's.
I mean, it's like another card, another FTK card on the list. Is kind of what I meant. Like,
I mean, yeah.
I mean, I can see it. Like, it was almost like a bad upstart in the sense you could just play it and then draw a card.
Well, it also protects your life points if you had lower life points than your opponent. So I guess in ways it
So
was
they'd have to waste resources to get rid of it. It was just kind of degenerate overall.
Right.
Wavering Eyes.
That
Not
makes me
really
sad.
surprised.
Makes me sad. I love Wavering Eyes.
It's such a good card. It's like it's just a strictly good card.
Right, but it was sideboard for some decks. If you needed to get rid, if you know your opponent's playing pendulums, you're just like, okay, I sided my Wavering Eyes. Even if you're not playing a pendulum deck, you still burn your opponent and you still destroy their scales, depending on what kind of deck they're playing.
Yeah, it was just kind of a dumb card where you just if you see, there comes a time where if a card is just everywhere for a dumb reason, it kind of needs to get hit.
Yeah, it's true.
Kind of like Ptolemaeus.
Shut up.
On to the limited Luster Pendulum, the Draco Slayer, and more Draco Pals. Not much to go over here.
Right.
Deck was pretty degenerate. Also, more stuff. Monkey Board and Skull Crobat Joker. Not really
Makes
surprised.
sense.
What?
I said makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, and Wisdom Eye Magician. I think that's all of the Draco Pal stuff.
Yeah, I think Wismai was like barely teched in every so often, so it's not that big of a deal.
I mean, you really could have hit a lot of the magicians to 1 instead of this
Right.
one. It kind of would have had the same effects. So,
Right.
Norden is now at 1.
That's
Kind
not
of-
jack.
Yeah, you only really need 1 Norden to win as it is. You play. I mean, you just play 3 instant fusion anyway. It's not.
And there are other ways to recycle it. You have Digestro Emerald, you have Refusion.
Yeah, you can run Synchrofusionist and then just get it
Synchrofusionist.
back. It's not doing really anything to resolve the problem. It just kind of goes to show how out of touch Konami is with how the game goes. So.
Yeah.
We'll see if this does anything. Spoilers, it won't. 1,000 Eyes Restrict, after I think 10 years of being on the list, it's finally off.
Instant fusion targets, tier 1.
Yeah, I mean, it gets around anti-destruction effects. There's been a lot of misconceptions on whether or not it targets. It does target, so there's a lot of cards out there now that can't be targeted, so this can get around, like, I mean, we don't see it anymore, but it gets around that one Shaddoll fusion that can't be destroyed. It gets around stuff like that, but it's not really...
You mean window?
It's not, yeah, window, thank you. It's not really particularly good, though.
It's mediocre at best, but...
People are going to try it, and I look forward to it.
I
But
definitely will try it, man. Are you kidding me? Just instant fusion to get rid of something that I need to get rid of?
throw it in Chaos Piper.
Oh, God.
It totally works. I mean, if you fusion it once, you can just keep kinking it back and then take something every turn.
That's true.
It's
yeah.
not that good, but like it's fun.
Well, would you be able to... Would you be able to Mr. Piper it? Because...
If you summon it successfully first, I think you can. I don't think it restricts itself.
We'll look more into that. We'll bring a video on that later.
Yeah, there's going to be a video on that. Don't worry. Ignister Prominence to Blasting Draco Slayer at 1. I kind of saw this coming. This card was dumb when you could just make a bunch of them in one turn and then just kill everything.
I'm surprised it wasn't on the limited or the forbidden list.
Yeah, I mean, I think part of it was just the fact that you can make so many. I think one of them's kind of fair, but yeah, I could have seen it to 0 too.
Yeah.
Draco Face Off. This card was just dumb. I mean,
You got free pluses for days.
It's like Pot of Greed's illegitimate son. Like I mean, it's not as good, obviously, but it's just really good.
You had a monster on board plus another scale in hand.
I wouldn't have minded having this card just be banned. Like, I hate how like bloated the banned list is, but I would have been fine with this being banned entirely.
You know, it's fine. People are still going to find ways to use and abuse it, just as they have with other limited cards such as Stratos.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Reasoning to 1. I don't know why they hit this now in particular. Maybe there's something I don't know about. I mean, this mainly hurts Infernoids, which aren't even really that big of a deal right now.
They're definitely not prevalent anymore. So yeah, I don't know why they hit it, but
maybe it could be in preparation for a deck that can abuse it. I can't think of any that are coming up that do that offhand, but I mean...
maybe the cat one?
Maybe. I mean, Reasoning is a pretty dumb card, to be fair, but it's never really warranted a ban.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
Upstart to 1. This is by far the best part of the list, and I mean that with utmost sarcasm.
Got to run that 39 card deck?
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming they did this to try to curb Life Equalizer, but this doesn't actually curb Life Equalizer because...
They should have just banned Life Equalizer, to be completely honest.
Yeah, or, it's just not... What is this doing? This doesn't do anything. Maybe they just, like, looked at all of the lists that are topping, like, oh, there's Upstart Goblin in every single one, we'd better hit that.
But Upstart Goblin's been topping with a lot of stuff for long time.
For years now, when people realize you can just throw them in.
Right, and then, but even so, it's been, since Patrick Hoban, it's been mostly in every single deck. Like, when he did the triple Upstart, triple Reckless, people started running triple Upstart, triple Reckless. They have not touched Reckless, they have not touched Upstart for the longest time. They haven't eroded Reckless. So, I mean, what's the real point in this now?
Yeah, it just seems like, hey, late to the party. Well done,
Just like
guys.
we are.
Yeah. Debris Dragon to 1. This card wasn't doing anything at 2.
It's to 2, by the way.
I'm sorry?
It's to 2.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's to 2 now. It doesn't doing anything at 1. It's not going to do anything at 3 either when it inevitably goes to 3.
In Sing-Songs, they can use it, but I don't really see...
I mean, you got to normal summon the dude. Like, it's just...
It's not... I mean,
anymore,
you're
it's...
wasting your normal summon to get Debris Dragon, to get...
And possibly have it be negated. And, like, what are you going to do? Make a Black Rose? Like, who cares anymore?
Yeah,
I hate to say that. Black Rose used to be, like, a big deal, and that's why this card got hit in the first place. But, like, anymore, it's like, who cares?
Right, exactly. There are other plays you could make, but in all reality, unless there is some, like, crazy combo that I don't know of...
And there could be.
There's always crazy shenanigans that you can do in Yu-Gi-Oh! And that's one of the fun parts.
Can't this hit Lonefire?
That can grab Lonefire, yes.
And Lonefire can't... Can Lonefire go off if it's been negated? I can't remember offhand.
No, it won't. I don't believe it will.
Okay, so that's not why it was... Okay. So yeah, I can't even think of anything insane it could do.
Right. The next card, however...
Oh god, I don't know why Allure is at 2 now. Like, Allure is just such a good card.
It is. I mean, just... especially since a lot of decks that are going to probably be topping, like Burning Abyss, Cosmos are one of them, you just banish, and then there are ways to retrieve from the banish zone.
I mean, usually you just banish something you're not going to need for the rest of the game. Like, you set yourself up by drawing 2. Like, it's...
Right.
I mean, there's so many cards that it's just like, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. At 1 doesn't matter. This might matter. I don't know where it's going to be played. There's not really any big dark decks right now. BA could make a comeback, but this...
Cosmo still. Cosmo run...
Oh, that's true. So,
and Cosmo just get it back for free anyway, so...
Yeah, this is going to do something. I don't know why it's at 2. I mean, I look forward to playing dark decks now, because I have 2 Pot of Greed, but...
D-Mock.
It's like... Oh, God, yeah. I didn't even think about D-Mock. Oh, okay, let's just move on. So, E-Telly's at 2 now. I guess Konami felt like, oh, we gotta hit Cosmos, but this is, like, not even scratching the surface.
Yeah, it's honestly definitely not. The only reason I think they didn't ban it so they could say, oh, yeah, we hit Cosmos, is because they still want to sell their Super Quantums, and when they sell their Super Quantums, they need to have emergency teleports.
This might be on the next list.
I feel like it's not going to get touched again for a while.
Maybe on like the list after the next list or the list after that one, but not for a little while. They need to milk Super Quantums a bit more, then this card will be out of the game.
Again, I feel like they're not going to touch it for a very long time, just because Cosmos are kind of fading out of existence, just a smidgen.
Yeah.
Super Quantums, they aren't doing anything. So as soon as they see they're not doing anything, they're just going to leave it alone.
Yeah.
I mean, Cosmos, they have so much search, so much everything else that they can do. They don't really need the E-Tellies. I mean, yeah, they need E-Tellies, but it's not going to merit putting it to 0 or 1.
Precise. Yeah. But we'll see. I don't want it to get hit. I don't want it to go away yet. There's so many Psychic decks that are fun that you can use this with.
Right.
And the best part of the list, DMOC no longer on list. It has been eroded though. You can't it adds the card at the end phase instead, so you can't do any crazy shenanigans with it immediately.
Makes me cry right
You
now.
have to wait a turn to do your shenanigans.
I mean, even so, some of the cards that you can re-add to your hand can be game-breaking, though. Like
It's worth noting that when this card was first hit, there were a lot of spells that they weren't forbidden yet, that were really broken. This could grab.
Harpy's Feather Duster, I think.
Brain Control.
Brain Control.
It was still, Brain Control was still at 1. You would just grab
Snatch
Brain
Steal?
Control with this.
I
think Snatch Steal was banned by then. I'm not sure offhand.
I don't remember.
I don't remember precisely when this was banned, but I know when it was. There were a lot of spells that are forbidden now that weren't then. So this was way more broken back then.
Right.
Actually, I think Pot of Greed was still around.
Oh God.
Yeah, I think it might have been during the Parshath format.
Well,
because it was back when
you know what? This was back during the
This might have been back during Goat Control. I can check up on it, but I think this was not long after Goat Control.
No. This was during the what's the deck called? The Yatagratsu deck, I think it was.
Chaos Dragon?
Yeah, Emperor Dragon all the way to the end. I believe.
Did Yadalok run this?
Yeah, I believe Yadalok ran DMOC. I think at least one. I don't remember. I believe it came out. I believe they came out the same set. I could be wrong.
Yada was Legacy of Darkness. DMOC was Invasion of Chaos, which I think 2 sets later.
Well, yeah,
but same block.
But no, even so, the Chaos Emperor Dragon came out Invasion of Chaos as well.
Yes.
So I believe they ran 1 or 2. Just because
it was a good enough card back then. You just ran it everywhere anyway.
Right, because you could be able to special summon stuff, tribute for DMOC, and then envoy the end or beginning, and just do that.
Yeah, and even with the game in the state that it's in now, I feel like DMOC could still do stuff, considering all the Dark Magician support.
DMOC can definitely still do stuff, and we'll bring videos of that later.
With Dedication to Light and Darkness, there's going to be a deck discussion on that deck, because people are already doing stuff with this, and it's actually really good.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if it's going to do anything, but it's really good, and I'm kind of glad. But hopefully they don't hit it again. But we'll see what happens.
Oh yeah.
Tragodia no longer on list. There was no reason for this to be on the list for this hasn't been good since 2013.
I don't think it's going to be even at that point.
It's not even going to be played now. Nobody was playing this as it was. It was really good once upon a time, but anymore
it's just kind of irrelevant at this point. I mean,
it's just you have to wait for someone to attack you. No.
And then even at that point, it's okay, well,
if you're being attacked directly, you probably lost. Realistically.
Yeah, realistically, there's that, and then on top of that, you're okay, well, you have a Tragodia now. I have 2 level. I'm attacking with these monsters. Oh, I'll just make an XYZ, and then you can't take my monster.
Yeah,
and then I have another effect that's going to go off when I do this.
Yeah, everything else just kind of runs circles around Trag at this point.
Yeah, Advanced Ritual Arts, I really don't want to see a 3. Unfortunately, it is. Just because of those stupid Herald decks.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really going to do that much, I don't think. I mean, people are going to try the Herald deck again and then realize that it's without preparation, it's not consistent enough.
It's still gonna go around.
People are going to try to make it work for a while with Saphira and then realize, oh, this isn't actually good.
They're going to make it work somehow. I feel it.
I'm probably going to try it. Just full disclosure, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And Crush Card Virus at 3. I never thought I'd see the day Crush Card Virus no longer on list. But, I mean, with the errata, it's
With the errata, it's not even that big of a deal. It's just kind of there, because, yes, you do get rid of their field. Yes, you get rid of the monsters in the hand. but you don't send everything from the deck to the graveyard anymore.
Yeah, it's just not. It's a shell of its old self.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a sad love song. What Crush Card used to be, but people just. I mean, I look forward to seeing what people do with it at 3. Like just playing around with it. I mean, it's a fun card. It's a flavorful card, but I mean, it's not a good card.
It's very flavorful.
Yeah. So, what about cards that should have been moved around that weren't?
Myself personally, I feel like
This little dude right here.
Cyberstein. I feel like Cyberstein, if he came off the list, like there would be
the most telegraphed card, the most telegraphed play ever.
Yeah, he would cause some shenanigans in the just for.
It's one of those cards where like in the the perfect storm or like open field Cyberstein, make a Blue Eyes Ultimate, go for game. It can still happen, but I mean it's such an awkward card that I don't think.
I really doubt that would not happen. I mean, even if they did decide, I think
it would totally happen. Yeah, it's kind of like when Snatch Steal came off. Like
that was god awful.
Yeah, that's probably not a good analogy because Snatch Steal was like always good. This isn't always good. Sometimes you just don't have 5,000 life points to pay.
Right. I mean, I think OCG has Cyberstein, and he's doing nothing over there, and they have a lot more cards.
Oh yeah, you're right. He is off over there. I think he's just at 1, but even so, like this could totally come off. It's not going to matter.
Yeah, I agree.
There's like tons of new targets you can grab with it that are like really cool, but like it wouldn't do anything.
Yeah, I agree with that.
What else? Most of these are banned for a good reason.
I mean, that Shockmaster could come off the list and no one would care.
Yeah, Shockmaster could probably. Well, I don't know.
See, I feel like Shockmaster could probably go to 1 because then it wouldn't be as much of a problem.
Yeah,
I mean, it went straight from 3 to 1 if I remember correctly, and
yeah,
a lot of people were really upset about it. I mean, yeah, Shockmaster is a great card, but I don't think it merited going from 3 to 1 immediately.
Yeah,
just like Katana Miles, I think it should have been like to 1, if that.
See what happens, and
then make your decision from there.
Yeah, like Shockmaster's on the same list as like Rescue Cat and Mind Master. Like it doesn't warrant being here.
Right.
Sangan could totally come off. Like,
yeah, it's just errata.
He's actually with
you just make it once per turn and Sangan come off the list.
Yeah, we didn't do anything. Tribe Infecting. There's a lot of debate with this. That
I'd say keep it on. Myself, I say keep it on the list.
Yeah, I can see that because you can.
There's too much grave recursion that you have nowadays that there wasn't back when Tribe Infecting Virus was. So I could discard just anything really, and then make an XYZ, do plenty of shenanigans. I mean, we have Trick Clown still, so you just summon Tribe Infecting, discard Trick Clown triggers, you get Trick Clown back, and then you destroy whatever's on your opponent's field.
And then you overlay it with this because this is level 4.
Right, exactly. Then you have an XYZ on the field.
Yeah, it's a little too good. There's also stuff like Mermails that can kind of make it a good thing. It's not even as good though as like a Trick Clown thing.
Well, it's definitely. Well, I mean, it is a cost to discard, so I guess it could trigger. It would trigger all the Mermail's effects. So
it would. Yeah, the Lantians. I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, even so, it's actually one of the. I think it's a case of a card that's actually better than it was when it was banned.
Right.
Let me see. I've actually thought about it. Yada, maybe.
I don't think they should bring Yada off the list. I mean, yes, Yada's a beautiful card, but. You gotta think about
Yada.
Well, you gotta think about this.
I want to pick up a bunch of them beforehand.
If you've expended all of your resources in your hand, and they summon Yada, and they keep poking you, where are you gonna go from there?
That is true.
A lot of people nowadays, they just go and then they just top deck. Like if you're playing Infernoids, you're top decking the whole. Or what deck is that? I think it is Infernoids, right? If you have no cards in hand.
Infernity.
Sorry.
Very close, very close.
Yeah, my bad. Everyone who plays Infernity. But if you're playing a deck like that, then you're like, okay, yeah, I don't have my cards in my hand, but then where's the rest of my field? Like as it diminishes, you have no responses and nothing else. So personally, myself, I say Yada should stay on the list.
I just feel like it's not impactful enough anymore. But yeah, I think it's one of those cards where you almost can't see it coming off ever.
Right.
Let me see.
Harp's another Buster.
Yeah. I feel like if Elma was eroded, it could totally come back. I feel like you can only use it once per turn.
Well, see, the thing with Elma, though, I mean...
It changes the design of the game, because I can't remember if it's worded as when it's sent or not.
It's when it's sent, I believe.
Okay, so that's a problem, because then it's an infinite discard machine. If you change it to where if it's sent from field and only once per turn, it
Actually,
could come
it might be
off.
from field. Don't quote me on that, but I believe it might be from field. So, I guess...
It's like, I mean, there's like 3 different FTKs with this, but...
Well, the main FTK is when you have... it's when the card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard while equipped.
Oh, this could totally, if you just errata it to where you can only activate it once per turn, like...
Well, even
it changes the format of the game, because you kind of just always have an Elma in hand, so you can always buff something by 300, but that still feels like kind of like a who cares situation.
Exactly. If it's at one,
it'd be hilarious in Noble Knights.
I don't think Noble Knights would play it, personally, because they have enough graveyard recursion for all of their noble arms that it'll be fine. I mean,
there's probably enough noble arms as it is.
Right.
It would just be kind of funny, I think. But yeah, I feel like with a small errata, it would be fine.
I think it can come off. Personally, myself, I think it can come off the list if you just ban Gearfried, because that's the only part really where.
Gearfried's cool though.
Yeah, he's
not
cool.
that anyone ever played him. But
that's where the Exodia OTK would come from.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, Elma, I think it's possible. A lot of these are like here for very good reason.
Yeah.
Divas probably should still be on there.
Diva could probably come to 2 and not cause too much of a disruption in the meta. I mean, yeah, Atlanteans still have all their stuff, but I don't think Diva would cause too much of a disruption.
Yeah, they would try really hard to make it a thing at 2, but I don't think it would actually... Yeah, it probably wouldn't actually be big of a deal. And Zectors... I don't know. I think it could be fine at 2.
I think Hornet would be fine at 2. Dragonfly, I would ask to keep out... I mean, Dragonfly would probably...
Maybe Hornet at 2, Dragonfly 1.
Yeah, I mean,
like, what's Hornet gonna do at 2 without Dragonfly? It just 1. Like, it wouldn't be... I don't think it'd be that big of a deal.
Right.
Why is Grand Mole at 1? Could somebody tell me why this card is at 1?
There's probably some crazy OTK you can do with it that we don't know of.
Is there an OTK for Night Assailant?
No, but back in the day, you were... I think I don't remember 90 cents back, but you can add a flip effect monster from your graveyard hand. And I guess back in the time, whenever it was banned, there was probably some...
Morphing Joe was still off. It wasn't on the list yet. So, yeah, I feel like Night Assailant would be fine now. There's no broken flip effects anymore. You can really add back with it.
Right. Rescue Rabbit would probably go to 2 or 3 without...
Yeah, 3. Who would care at 3? Like...
Right. Same with... personally, my opinion, same with Ryo. I mean, you could probably put it to 2. It wouldn't cause that much of a difference.
Yeah, I could see Ryo at 2.
Tour Guide, probably you could put to 2 just to help Burning Abyss a little bit.
Yeah. Book of Moon would be interesting at 2.
Book of Moon would be... I think Book of Moon would be fine at 2 or 3, just because Book of Moon... Yeah, it's a play disruptor, but... People...
But there's nothing wrong with that. That's
right,
like the thing. It's not degenerate. Book is a very fair card. Like, it doesn't do anything insane on its own.
Right.
And you can't... And there's no Morphing Jar to flip face down with it anymore.
Right.
So, yeah, I can see it. Not Royal Tribute.
For Geki at 2, that'd be interesting.
That would be really cool. I mean, a lot of decks aren't even playing it right now, which is crazy to think about, but...
Macro at 2 would probably be fine. It'd bring a lot of...
Macro at 3. Like,
I don't think Macro at 3, just because there's a lot of decks that could really benefit from it. I mean, Macro at 2 would be interesting just to see how it would affect a lot of things.
Yeah. Rain of Destruction, I don't know. I don't think this would be that big of a problem.
No.
At 2.
Especially with the errata.
Yeah, it's so... I mean, at 2 or 3 without the errata would be kind of crazy, but...
Warning X3 wouldn't really give me that big of an issue.
I mean, Solemn Strike is, like, kind of better.
Yeah, Solemn Strike's at 3, and it's inherently a lot better.
It's like almost strictly better.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if it was Judgment,
it even costs less. Like, this could totally go back to 3. I mean, you could run 3 of each, which might be like oppressive, but I mean, it costs so much life points anyway. Like, it's fine. It's totally fine.
Right. Let's see here.
Torrential.
Torrential could go to 2. I wouldn't care. I mean,
Yeah.
with all the pendulum decks out nowadays, it's like, okay, you wiped my field, I'll just come back next turn.
Yeah, it's not. It wouldn't really be as impactful anymore.
Yeah.
Card Trooper. I mean, this went to 2 in the first place because of Machine Dupe. I really doubt people would do this though today. Because you would because you could play 1 Machine Dupe it, which Machine Dupe's at 3 and will always be at 3. You go Trooper, Machine Dupe, you mill 9, potentially hit for 54.
I mean,
That's
I
what
guess. I mean,
people did
the
back in
only
the
deck I
day.
could see really playing now would be Lightsworn.
Yeah, but even then, I don't know. It's like,
But
I
there's so
doubt
many
it would be insane.
inherently better cards you can play in Lightsworn.
Like, what do you do with Card Trooper? You play it, you mill 3. It's a 19 beater, which isn't even big enough to do anything anymore.
Right.
You might attack with it, and then it'll go back to 400, and they'll just run it over and kill you the next turn. Like, it's not even like, I just can't see it.
Dark Hole to 3 would be fine. No one plays Dark Hole anymore.
Yeah,
They'd rather play Regeki.
Honest at 3 would be cool.
Honest would be god awful. Are you kidding me?
It would be. I said cool, not good. Like, like every light deck ever would be kind of ridiculous, but it would be cool.
Let's just throw Allure to 3. Why not? Come on. Honest 3, Allure to 3.
Honest 3, Lured 3, Chaos Dragons.
Tier 1.
Yeah. Dragon Ravine should probably stay at 2, though it's not. I don't know if it's even doing much at 2.
It's, to be honest, man, I think Dragon Ring probably go to 3 again. Give
Yeah.
the community people what they want.
Is Trio cancerous enough to warrant staying at 2?
Yes.
It is? Yeah,
Yes.
You're probably right. I think we covered everything.
Yeah, it's pretty much everything that I think of. Let us know what you guys think, though. Is there any cards we missed that you think should be banned? Is there any cards you think that should
What part of your body would you cut off to get Stratos off?
Yes.
What part of your body? Comment down below. Let us know.
Hashtag Free Stratos.
Yes.
Yeah.
And until next time,
This is dual personality.
we bid you adieu.